Mayor de Blasio refused to answer questions about that Midtown homicide arrest or any other topic today. Instead, he walked away from reporters. CBS 2 political reporter Marcia Kramer has the story.
He wants his name to be synonymous with Vision Zero, but some might say he showed zero vision by stubbornly refusing to calm New Yorkers' fears about a number of new hate crimes that are top of mind for the 8 million people he represents.
I'm here to talk about this. If you want to ask a question about this, I'm here to talk about this. If you want to talk about this, great. If not, we'll take questions another way, another time.
You see, the mayor only wanted to talk about a selected topic of the day, a long-shot quest to get Albany to approve his latest tax-the-rich scheme. But when reporters sought his reaction to a stunning hate crime that shocked the city, the fatal stabbing of Timothy Kaufman by a man who admitted he wanted to kill blacks.
Does anyone want to ask about the mansion tax?
But it didn't end there. A question about a court ruling that went against him for refusing to make public email exchanges with a political advisor he called an agent of the city.
Guys, you can ask all you want. Here's what we're here to talk about. You don't want to be a part of it, you don't have to come. Everything else you want to talk about, you will get answers to through our press office.
De Blasio, you see, has rules. Since the corruption scandal, he only answers so-called off-topic questions once a week. Today was not that day. So he also refused to talk about the arrest of an Israeli teen suspected of making bomb threats to Jewish community centers.
That's great, guys. I'm done. Thank you.
The mayor of a city with the largest Jewish population outside of Israel simply walked away. And it's not the first time he refused to answer questions.
We're not taking questions in here today.
After that, I had to follow him to Puerto Rico to get him to talk. Do you plan to take more off-topic questions, Mr. Mayor?
There's going to be many opportunities for journalists to talk to me about a number of things.
Well, too bad it didn't last. By the way, sometime after he fled, the mayor's office issued a statement on his behalf, saying the city will always stand ready to face down intolerance. It might have been more effective if he had said it publicly so all New Yorkers could hear him. Christine, Maurice.
All right, Marcia, thank you.